Morning all. Well, I thought I would do a slightly different vlog this week, and I'm always talking to you typically in the mornings is when I get most of my shots in, and I'm usually doing some level of, sporting activity of some sort. And I thought I would actually go over kind of what I do and why I do it. Now, I do a lot of physical activity, and I'm a big believer in, I don't think it's a concept, but we'll call it a concept of this corporate athlete. A corporate athlete being someone who just generally basically takes care of themselves and pushes themselves both in the kind of corporate space, but also physically as well, because it's so incredibly important that, you know, to go far in work, you are physically and mentally at the best and the peak ability that you could be. And so it really comes down to like, how are you then looking after your mental health and how are you looking after your physical health? Because if the two aren't aligned, I can certainly tell you that whether you run your own business or whether you just are working in another business in some shape or form, it won't be good. You won't be at the best that you can be. And so I believe that you have to treat yourself like a corporate athlete, i.e. just like an athlete, and really start to think about your routine when it comes to physical activity. And so what I tend to do is I tend to basically work out every morning, and that comes in many different shapes and sizes. Typically though, for me, it's either going to the gym and doing a level of kind of functional fitness workouts. So there's a combination of like high rocks and general Olympic weightlifting. Fun fact, I used to do Olympic weightlifting for Wales back in the day. And the other is swimming and triathlon stuff. So I'm obviously training for Ironman as the long-term plan. And so I get a lot of cycling and swimming in the morning and the evenings as well. So join me on this adventure this week where I'll show you some of my training clips. But really think about that. How can you position yourself as a corporate athlete, and are you looking after yourself the utmost in that regard? Another bright and early start to the day. We are 5:45 at the moment, so Wednesday morning, and the training continues. This corporate athlete mindset continues, and today we're going to the sea. We're going to a place called Bude where there's a sea pool, which is just like a naturally made pool by the sea, which is pretty epic. And we're going to swim about 1 kilometer today. I twinged my back recently in the gym, so we're going to take it a little bit easy. Typically I'm trying to go flat out on this K front crawl, but today we're going to be just doing kind of breaststroke and probably a little bit more of a chilled 1K swim. And I think what's really cool about doing this is it sets you up so incredibly well, like nothing really for the day. Swimming beats going to the gym in my opinion, for like just feeling like refreshed and like invigorated. But my general kind of process, which you'll see from this video, is Monday, Tuesday gym, Wednesday swim, Thursday, Friday gym, Saturday swim, Sunday rest. And that's kind of like the kind of training philosophy that I adopt. Sometimes the gym is switched for a run. Typically on the weekends I'll also get a run in as well. So I live in North Cornwall, which basically means that the sea, as you can see behind me, is super rough. So it's really good for surfing. So you can come here surfing on the weekends and stuff like that. But when you're wanting to get some just kind of general fitness in, you swim some lengths. It's a little bit challenging to do like proper open water swimming. Yeah, it's not hard, but it's annoying sometimes when you're just getting nailed by waves. And so this is why the sea pool, let's have a look, is really, really handy, because from here to there is just shy of 100 meters. It's about 93 meters. So basically we'll just go back and forth, get a K in. What have we got in the bag? Let's go through my bag of like sports equipment goodies. Well, first of all, we have this thing, which is pretty cool. This isn't for today, but It's like a portable like scuba tank. So I do a lot of this stuff on the weekends. I'll go and do some fun like snorkeling and things like that with that. And then let's just open this up here. Hold on, taking you close to the wall. Okay, we've got this towel robe thing, which is super handy for when I get out. Just hang that on this peg here. We have a swim cap because I have long hair, and so I find it really hard to swim without that. And then we have some goggles. And I'm one of those people that wears a swim cap, so I look like a giant condom on top of my head, especially because it's gold. I look like a bald condom. And then we have, what else do we have? We also have like these more kind of professional goggles or snorkel mask, whatever you want to call it. That's when I'm doing the scuba stuff. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, I'm gonna go get it. Let's go for it. Okay guys, session done. It was alright. I've had a week off, so I always find that when you have a week off and get back into it, you feel a bit shit. One thing that actually did get me thinking in that session just now was, with swimming in particular, you're just staring down into kind of this dark blue abyss. And it really made me think, I'm not a one for meditating, I don't really do that. Tried it, but just find it hard. And I think sport in itself is like a form of meditation. It's really interesting that, like, when you're doing this, you realize that you just kind of get lost in your thoughts as you're working out, as you're running, as you're swimming. And I think that's why sport's so good for mental health, is it's like a natural form of meditation and whatever, really, I guess. And so if you're not into that type of thing, like meditating and stuff like that, then sport is an excellent release. And I was just thinking that now, like I was getting lost in my thoughts, thinking about things, and I feel so good for it, you know? So do it. So this week we have covered a few things. We've covered going to the gym, we've covered swimming, did a bit of running. I don't think I filmed that. And this weekend we're going to do some cycling as well. So we've covered a lot of the basis. Now let's talk about something else that I also focus on, and that's nutrition and supplements, okay? So I take these also really, really seriously. The first thing is I buy very high quality food. I'm pretty passionate about that. I definitely think it makes a massive impact, and you are what you eat. In particular, I focus a lot on fermented food because it's super good, and gut health is incredibly important, more than most people realize. The second is, let's focus on supplements. Like, what do I take? It's not actually that crazy. We have multivitamins, we have magnesium. You've got to be particular in the type of magnesium that you're taking. And we also take creatine and some protein as well. That's typically what I take. Sometimes we go through some stuff called like ashwagandha if we wanted to. Sometimes we have some stuff called Tonga Ali if we're wanting to really push the workouts and what I'm doing. And I also take some more stuff to help with gut health and things like that as well. But nothing massively crazy and untoward there. So that is like an overview on this week's kind of health and well-being focus. I don't meditate really or anything like that. I do journal. That's quite a big one for me. Like I'm quite like to get lost in kind of my thoughts. So I do a lot of journaling. Meditation I find pretty hard to do. So yeah, eat well, work out, do a bit of journaling, and you're going to be absolutely grand, and you can kind of push through most things that these tough jobs these days kind of throw at you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Bit of a weird one this week, a little bit different, not much on Triggerify, but I actually enjoyed this one quite a lot.